fellow travelers, Mark here with Woltersworld, and today we're back in Finland. We're here in Turku, and today what we have for you are the 5 things that tourists are gonna love and maybe hate about visiting Finland. And I'm here on this beautiful, cold spring day. Yes, about a foot of snow on a beautiful spring day here in Finland. Kind of a typical thing, and I'll relate to that later. We go through our loves and hates, but I want to start with the thing you're going to love the most when you come here. And it's one of those things, the more you stay in Finland, the more experience you have with this, you love it even more. And that is your sauna experience. I mean, going to the sauna, you know, when you throw the water on the hot stones and that air comes around and it hits you and bites into you when you're in the sauna. Oh my gosh, that experience of going to sauna here is something that is just, it is something that is so Finnish and something that's so refreshing, so like enlivens you when you're here that you will love it. And yes, you go there, the fact that yes, you're going in there naked and you're sitting on a towel with random people you don't know just adds to the experience, because it's not a sexual thing, it's not a hit on people thing, it's just this thing where you go and you enjoy like feeling that like bite of the heat when you go in there. And whether you're here in the wintertime or the spring like I am, and you go from the sauna, you go run and jump in the snow and roll around, or you're in a summer house on the islands, you go jump in the water afterwards. I mean, the whole experience is just fantastic when you go to sauna. And one of the things I gotta say is that's one of the best ways to get to meet locals, because that's when Finns really open up and they talk and they hang out. And honestly, when you go have a sauna, it's not just, oh, I'm going for half an hour or so. It's like a couple hour experience of sauna, going in and out and showering between, or maybe going in the water, and then afterwards having drinks and snacks with your friends and just chatting up. I mean, it's just such an incredible experience. And when you go, I mean, honestly, ask your hotel where their sauna is, because they have one, and what are their hours, because you don't do co-ed. It's, you know, just men in one and women in another. Like they have that, maybe it's different times or different spots, but honestly, the sauna experience, it's just, when it hits you and you throw that water on, then you beat yourself with the sticks. I mean, it's just a fantastic thing. And can you tell that I loved it when I was here? I mean, we would do it all the time. Now, as passionate I am about sauna, one of the things you're not gonna like when you come here is the price of Finland. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, we're in Northern Europe. It's expensive here, okay? This is not a cheap vacation. I mean, you're not getting a ton of stuff for your bucks. Now, there are some deals you can get, food-wise and tour-wise and pass-wise, you can do that, but in general, going out to eat, going out to drink, oh my gosh, you know, going to the sites, you know, going around, it can be a bit pricey. Now, taking the train around the country, not bad at all, but it is one of those things you gotta be ready that coming here is not gonna be, your money's not gonna go as far. It's like you're doing things like, where did the money go? I don't remember spending it, but it kind of disappeared. And I want you to have a heads up for that. Now, to kind of beat that, I would recommend don't spend a ton of time in Helsinki, though I love Helsinki. It's really cool, from the cathedrals that are there, and the market square and the esplanade and everything. It's great, but it's so much more expensive than the rest of the country. I mean, I lived here in Turku, so I'm kind of partial to it, but honestly, coming here, going to Tampere, going up, you know, go take the Santa Claus Express, go up to Rovaniemi, go see Santa Claus Village. I mean, those places are a lot more affordable. I'm not saying they're cheap, okay? They're just they're less expensive, so your money goes farther. That's why I'm staying here for a few days instead of staying in Helsinki for a week. But honestly, when you start seeing the prices, you understand why a lot of the parties you go to here are BYOB, because man, supplying the alcohol for everybody would be a bit pricey. Also, it's not really a hate, but do know you might not like the fact you gotta go to Alko, the local government-run alcohol store, to get anything like stronger than beer. I mean, restaurants will have it and bars will have whatever you want, but if you want to have it for yourself, just FYI for that. The Koska and Korva is not sold at the art kioski here. Now, another thing you're not gonna like when you come here is, well, when you come here outside of the summertime, because you never know what the weather's gonna be. I'm here in late spring. Late spring. There's like a foot of snow. Late spring. Okay, but that's not the bad part. This is actually nice. It's beautiful with the snow and everything. That's not what you won't like. The thing is, I want to say is when you come outside the summer times, you don't really know what you're gonna get. And if it's winter, like November, December, I mean, it's dark, it's dreary, it's wet, and it's really kind of depressing when you are here. And the thing is, you don't have a lot of daylight. You know, like literally, when I lived here, it would be 11 o'clock in the morning and it would still be dark. And when I get out of school at like 3, it would be dark again. That's one of those things it's hard to enjoy when you can't see things, and that kind of makes it a little bit less fun to enjoy it when you're cold and wet and it's dark out and it's cold. Did I mention it's cold? And it's cold? Yeah. But on the other hand, when you come here in the summertime, it's fantastic because literally it's 11 o'clock at night and it's still sunny and you have people out on the beaches and you have people on the rivers, you have people out doing things. So it's cool, but that winter darkness and weather really is kind of a turnoff when you come here. But the thing is, one thing you're gonna really love about it, like the next love I have is just the nature and just the natural stuff of Finland. Because when you come here, when I say nature, look, you want to go to the lakes, you want to go up Tampere, you have the beautiful lake district up there, you have lakes all over the place, the archipelago, the little islands along the coastlines itself, going to people's summer cottages, and yes, you're roughing it when it's there, but you're back to nature, doing hiking, mushroom hunting. Who knew that a teenager would love the mushroom hunt? Yes, I loved mushroom hunting when I lived here when I was a teenager. It's one of those things, is getting back to nature, doing the sauna, jumping in the lake, going swimming, being a part of it all. It's fantastic and you just love that. But also the natural side of it in terms of the food. The food when you eat here, even if you're eating like unhealthier things here, you still feel healthier. I mean, that's one of the things. They're like the no GMOs and the less of the colorings. Like you're not going to see all the weird colored foods here, kind of stuff. You really get that like healthy feeling and you get back to nature. It's just like a really wonderful thing. So grab that salmon soup when you're here, or grab the food when you're here, and you'll really feel that difference. Now, the third thing you're gonna love when you come here to Finland is the fact that you really feel like you're someplace that really is just less touristy. I mean, really, like you don't have to worry about the over-tourism when there's millions of people at one place at one time and you're all smushed up. There's no scams. There's no tourist traps. There's nobody pressuring you for things. There's no over-the-top tourism kind of stuff. And honestly, when you go around the country, especially if you're not even in Helsinki, people are like, did you get lost on your way to Sweden or Germany or something? Because they don't know why you'd be here. I'm like, have you seen the nature? Have you seen the beauty of this country? It's amazing, right? I mean, but the thing is, you really have this kind of chillax kind of thing. Like, we love coming here because when we come here, this is one of those countries where it's really easy to kind of live like the locals and get back to being with the locals and being a part of things and not feeling like you're a tourist when you go around. Because honestly, you really feel like you're in a less touristy place. Because maybe it's the weather that scares people off or the prices, but honestly, I just love coming here because it's one of those places you can really relax because you're just not overrun. And kind of going along with that love without being all the tourists. Look, I'm here in the Kauppahalli, the market hall here in Turku. You can go here, you can sit at the cafes, you can talk to the locals, you can get fantastic food, and look, you're not overrun. There's another one in Helsinki you can go to, but honestly, this is what you're looking for. You want Europe and you want to enjoy your travels without being overrun, Finland's the place to be. And I know I just talked about how it's easy to live like a local when you're here, but that kind of goes into one of the things you might not like about coming here, and it's the fact that you'll feel like the locals don't like you. Because they don't like you, okay? Don't think the locals don't like you. The Finnish people are actually very nice when you get to know them, but they're very, I don't know if I would say stoic, but they're very much introverted. They're very much to themselves. They don't mince words. They're not gregarious people. They're not, hey, how are you? What's going on? They kind of hold things back. And so when you talk to Finnish people, you might notice long pauses in the conversation. It's because they don't have anything to add right then, so they're not going to say anything. So sometimes tourists take that as they're rude or they don't like you or they don't want you to talk to them. No, that's not. The Finns just like peace and quiet. If they want to talk, they'll just come up and talk to you because they're cool like that. But you might feel that since they're not over the top kind of like talking to you, that they don't like you. That's not the case. The Finns, once you get talking to them, literally they don't stop talking when something they want to talk about. So just know when you're at a bar or a restaurant or you're at the hotel and you meet some locals and they start chatting, they will chat away, and don't be surprised they invite you to their house, maybe for sauna, maybe for some drinks, but it is one of those things that don't think they don't like you, but it does kind of come off that way sometimes. But honestly, I love living here and I love the people here, but one thing I hate about the people here is their obsession with Salmiakki. If you're not sure what Salmiakki is, it is salted black licorice, and they have it in all kinds of farms. You might have it in a little like hard candy version. You might have it in string licorice form. You might have it in alcohol form. I'm looking at you, Salmiakki Koskenkorva. All right, like they just love it. Like that's their favorite. I mean, I've seen ice cream. Like you'll see black ice cream in the summer and it's Salmiakki flavored ice cream. Like, what kind of evil person makes Salmiakki flavored ice cream? Oh, sorry, Liam, that we tortured you to have that when you were a kid so you could be our experiment. But honestly, like, what is up with this? And it pops up in a lot of different places, so do be aware if someone offers you a samari or a Koskenkorva, a Salmiakki kosu shot. Like, just say, you know what? I'll just take one of the local beers instead, please. Now, aside from the silliness, another thing you're really going to love when you come here is just the accessibility that Finland offers. We're talking accessibility by public transportation. Whether you're taking the trams in Helsinki or the buses here in Turku, the trains across the country, the ferries to go out to the islands. I mean, it's easy to get around the country, to get to all the different places, the walking around, how they clean things up. I mean, it's really, really wonderful, but it's also accessible for all people, whether you're a family, whether you're retirees, you got your kids with you. A hotel I'm staying at, they have a kids play area. The train's coming, there's a kids play area. It's great for kids and family, outdoor stuff for them to do, cultural things for you to do, older people, all kinds of abilities. Handicap accessibility is a thing here, so you can really enjoy it. It's open to everyone and it's accessible for everyone, and that's what I love about Finland, and that's why I recommend it to a lot of people when they're thinking about, well, you know, mom's got a bad hip, or I'm not sure how I feel about walking and getting around, how is it? It's not an issue here, and that's one of the things that's so great about it. You can do so much without having to worry, from safety to anything. It's just so great. And yes, Finland is super accessible for all types of people. And the thing is, what also makes it very accessible is the fact that English is spoken all over. However, I'm going to tell you this, one of the things you're not going to like is actually the Finnish language, because no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to figure it out. You might look at this and say, oh, Mark, I think that one word's parking. No, that's Swedish on the bottom. The first 3 lines, that's Finnish. All those vowels. What's with all those vowels? Like, sometimes I can figure out like automati for the parking automat. I can figure that one out. But the other stuff, you got no chance. It is one of the most difficult languages to learn, and it makes it frustrating because you're like, I want to try to figure something out, and you can't. I mean, I remember when I was moving here, there's all these exchange students. They're like, oh, everybody's going to learn the language of the country they're going to, except for the people going to Japan and Finland. I mean, honestly, it is super difficult. Like, there's no prepositions. So everything is an ending. So this is the city of Turku that I'm in, right? So Turku is the city. However, I want to say if I'm in Turku, it's Turussa. However, I want to say I'm from Turku, it's Turusta. If it's Turku, like Turku stuff, it's Turun. Dude, the endings, all this stuff just make it so difficult and so frustrating. And then I know it's not really a tourist thing. She's like, oh, I'll be speaking English. But I know you still want to kind of learn a few words when you're going to go travel. And yeah, the Finnish language, dude, I hate how hard it is. And kind of sticking with this just general theme, I want to say the 5th thing you're going to love when you come here is just how dang clean it is here in Finland. Like, when you come here, the air sparkles. Like, it is so clean when you're here. The food is so clean when you're here. You go on the streets, it's clean. You're on the riverbanks, it's clean. You're not worried about things. I mean, it's so clean and safe, and it's just a wonderful experience. And that's why, honestly, it's great to take your family, but also to have a time when you're not worried about the scams and the tourist traps and the buskers and huskers and all those other things. It isn't something you have to worry about. And just the fact that you just feel so healthy when you're here, whether you're going on a hike or just sitting on the river, or in the summertime, you can take little boats on the river here. I mean, you just feel so good, so clean, so healthy when you're here. It is wonderful, okay? So I hope you liked our list of 5 things you might love and maybe not love so much about coming to Finland. What are the things that you love and hate about coming to Finland? Let us know in the comments below so we can help out other travelers have a greater time here in Suomi. You know, Finland.